evil. If the evil doesn't want to stop their dialogue, what can you do?
Yep.
Sacrifice yourself, and then the evil cries to the women of the West. It's the strategy of the sacrificing themselves and crying to the ignorance of the rest of the world, who just needs, just a few pieces of information to understand. So sad. So much suffering. Imagine if they just let the Jews in with the red carpet and develop their region. How much more developed would the Middle East, would the world be now? We might have been twice as technical. We might have been in 2030, 2040, 2050 now. Who's going to answer for that? Who's going to answer for that? Who's going to answer for that?
God is aware of what's happening and what's in your hearts and what's going on. I need to expand that. What you people wish on the Palestinian, I wish that happens to you. Bye. Yo, man. Exactly. And also, we don't wish anything happens to the Palestinians. We wish Hamas to surrender and to release the hostages.
Who's going to answer for this? Which student in class is going to answer for this? Incorrigible, unforgivable.
Oh, that's a brilliant X. So somebody posted in the chat, Gaza has one of the lowest average IQs scores on the planet and one of the highest cousin marriage rates. Wow. That's crazy. Irrational rage, right? Low IQ and irrational rage are the results of lots of cousin marriages, man. While I'm on that stage, excuse the rap, but you know these lefty Westerners, their whole moral framework and structure, everything that they hold dear about how they think about justice is actually rooted in Judaism, but they're arguing for a very barbaric kind of stone age caveman way of life. It's really odd that they're using the moral standards that the religion of Judaism brought to the world and created modern respectful civilization, especially after the Roman Empire adopted Christianity, which is a spin-off of Judaism. I mean, it's so stupid. It's so stupid.
It's insane.
You know what I think is weird about the whole thing? I don't know if you guys have considered this before, but if they're getting genocided, if they're starving to death, why wouldn't they just release the 40 or 30 living people and the 20 dead bodies that they're holding on to and be like, all right, we're done?
Because they're morally grandstanding.
Well, they're not starving.
Oh, so they're
They think
not
they're,
actually starving? Is that what you're saying? They're not actually
No,
starving?
they're not actually. And
No, they're not. And are they not being genocided either?
No.
So that's why they feel like they're actually doing something cool. They're like,
they think they're the good guys. That's insane. bro. They must all be looking left and right, thinking, "Holy shit, where am I? What can I do? Nothing."
Yeah, but we asked Resistance to pull up a video of it or any evidence.
Because they can't say anything. They can't say anything.
No, it took 20 minutes to find a woman being pushed, a man or a woman being pushed in a wheelchair, but everybody that was pushing them and surrounding them, they were fat.
I saw a new video today of a fat man complaining that trucks were too far away and he had
Oh my god.
He's a big fatty. I can put it in the chat. I'll put the link in the chat.
And this is history. This is the identities. The first person to tell me that the Arabs have done nothing in history was an Arab himself from Syria, college. He said everything was Persians. Persians did everything in that time of history. Arabs, Turks didn't do so much, did they? But there's greatness and genius and, beauty and everything in everybody. And they'll seek to...
I put the link in the chat of the fat guy complaining about having to walk a far distance.
Pepe earlier said it, that if I died and Issa died, that, no one would notice, no one would care, everything would just continue going. See, I think that type of attitude, is like reflective of somebody who has like is despondent and in despair or not courageous. So, part of like my art project, I like Clown House in the sense that like I've created this third party network of YouTube videos of all these people on this app. Because in a way, you are not you, you are everyone you interact with and communicate with. So to me, I've like mirrored all my activity on this app, so I'm not me. I am you in a way.
All communication is projection. So if somebody says you're going to die alone, that means they're afraid that they're going to die alone. If somebody says you're a piece of shit, that means that they're afraid that they're a piece of shit. If somebody says you're ugly, that means they're afraid that they're ugly. If they see what a bald, shiny bald head, they're afraid of the day that they themselves will once be bald. And that's as simple as that.
Yeah.
So what, did Pepe lose his mind at you and Issa? Did he go crazy or what happened?
No, I was just kind of making fun of Pepe and then talking about, my YouTube accounts and Instagram accounts. But yeah, I'm like I'm getting very close, I think, to ending my recording project on this app. I'm
How long have you been doing it?
since 2020, so 5 years.
Wow. I'm a little paranoid that I might out on that because obviously I live in the UK and we have no free speech. But whatever.
No.
Somebody would have to go digging.
No one's gonna dig through 60,000 videos.
Is it 60,000?
I think if you add up all the YouTubes and all the Instagram accounts, it's somewhere close to like, probably 40,000 videos.
Yeah, I just used AI to sort through them and get all the incriminating stuff on the people I don't like on this app.
AI is pretty amazing. I've been asking Grok to do a comparative analysis on voting record and Open Secrets lobbying records, and it's amazing. But it can like cross compare, whatever is in Google and do like a comparative analysis and do matching. So it's like really a huge. And what's amazing about X is because you can integrate it into your profile, it's like immediate deployment of content and propaganda or counter argument information. So it's amazing how by having it in the platform and how you can tag people, like X is really a different type of platform compared to Facebook or Instagram. It's like it's more it's faster and more easily accessible as opposed to other platforms. X is very dynamic now. I mean, it's I think valued at
Do you
150
make it
million.
talk to you in Ebonics?
No, I don't do that. I can come to Clown House to
Well, you
listen to
can.
Ebonics.
That's a possibility.
I can come to Clown House and listen to Ebonics any day of the week, any hour of the week. This is a Ebonic colonic. This app is an Ebonic colonic. But what I'd like to do is get back to reading books because if I just read the Tanya for a couple minutes, I realize how much time I'm wasting here and listening to all these conversations. So I really do want to like stop the recordings and get back to like recording books so I can, thrive and prosper and survive because just listening to people have random conversations, it's not programmatic, it's not intelligent, and I think it creates brain rot. So I would, as a warning, I would encourage everyone here to spend like maybe 10 minutes reading a book on this app as opposed to spending countless hours having random meaningless, and when I say meaningless, I mean that like the conversations are one word at a time. It's not like sitting in a classroom and getting a lecture and a direct transmission of information. You are not doing information like downloading. You're like nothing is happening here. I mean, and I think that's why to me it makes interesting content to film, but nonetheless, I know that it's not a good usage of my time. That's all I'm saying. Or I've
I
maxed
think
out the
that
recordings.
the one thing that I have gotten better at not getting triggered when people say stupid shit. The other day, I was with somebody, I won't elaborate. It was somebody who I don't know very well. They said something incredibly stupid, I won't elaborate, it doesn't really matter. But they said something that was very stupid, and in the past I would have definitely wanted to tell them dumbest shit I've ever heard, and here's why you're a fucking moron. And I didn't say anything. I just said, interesting. Uh-huh. And that was it. And I was actually proud of myself because walking away from that interaction, I thought, yeah, I didn't need to respond to that. That was stupid. If I had responded, I would have taken the bait, and then I would have been the stupid, would have become a self-roaster. And so I just kind of said, oh, that's interesting. And I don't think that I would have had that muscle. I didn't have that, really, the emotional capacity to do that. 5 or 10 years ago, I definitely didn't. I wasn't strong enough to do that.
Hey, Zach.
What's up, you fucking faggot? Sorry.
Crazy.
I'm sorry. I'm just joking. I'm just joking.
It's okay. I just wanna contribute though, because oh my god, I'm still laughing from that, Zach. But anyway, I just want to contribute because I've heard some I guess unfortunate things during this room here. So I think that what's going on on both sides of this conflict is very unfortunate. Um, I'm honestly not sure if the claims of the Gazans being starved is true or not, but I think it's hard to deny that people, like, not even on just like one side, like, I'm not even just saying like the Palestinians are starving or the Israelis are starved or like trying to be like one side here. I'm just trying to say, I think both sides here are suffering, and I think it's not harmful to your personal narrative or whatever. If if people just acknowledge, that I think that it could be true at the same time that what Hamas is doing by not returning their hostages is, harming their people. Wait, can you hear me? I put a red bar. Anyway,
I can hear
I
you,
just
but
want to
I
say as
haven't.
well. I think it could also. I think it's also can also be true. Israel could be suffering from scope creep because even people in the government haven't saying like, hey, we've been going too far. Like, this is only just prolonging the suffering for both of us. Like there's generals, journalists, politicians who've been noticing this too, and you hear someone complaining. I think
I can't hear him.
So the people in Gaza, if they are starving, it's because Hamas steals the aid, puts it in warehouses, or puts it directly in tunnels, which Palestinians in Gaza have been saying on camera that the aid is disappearing underground. So there's more than enough food in Gaza. It's just not being brought to the people because Hamas wants the entire world to blame Israel for starvation when they actually do it themselves. And this is Islam. Islam wants to take as many people down with them when they do suicide. When they kill themselves, they want to take as many people as possible with them. And if it's possible to blame the West, blame Christians, blame the Jews, they will go for it. Because Muslims say themselves, their biggest weapon is unlike Christians and Jews because we prioritize life. Muslims say that they prioritize paradise, that this life is not worth living for, and that they will be rewarded in the afterlife if they die martyr for Allah. So I'm not falling for that. I know a lot of Catholics fall for that, but I'm not falling for that. And I notice this trend with a lot of Christians as well, following for the propaganda of Hamas, and that's very concerning because Hamas is
I'm not falling
mentioned.
for any Hamas propaganda.
No, not you personally, but collectively,
Okay.
The Catholic Church has been not supporting the Jewish people as much as they should. Like back in the day, Catholics used to fight crusades against Islam. Now they are
They
enabling
do.
it. The thing is, Catholics hate Israel. They hate Israel.
Well, that's cool, but I also just want to call out Julian.
That's not true.
Hey, Julian, I just want to call you out and say you support murder, and you may have a cognitive distortion disorder. Are you serious? You love Mangione Boy. You support Mangione for murdering that healthcare executive, the CEO of United
Do you
Healthcare.
like Mangione, Julian? Is this true, Julian?
That's a different subject.
That's very stupid, Julian. I heard somebody the other day said we need the Luigi mindset when it comes to Gaza. What do you think that means, Dr. Julian? What do you think the Luigi mindset when it comes to Gaza means?
I have no clue.
I think we need to have the Luigi mindset when it comes to Puerto Ricans.
Yeah, Julian, don't come in here and lecture anybody. You literally support someone that murdered somebody in the streets. So until you can justify your belief with regards to Mangione, everything you say to me is illegitimate. And I don't respect you. I hate to break that to you, young man, but I do not respect you.
Don, could you be a little less sort of confrontational, less judgmental? Oh, Norm, by the way, you live in New York, right? Yeah, much of the time, some of the time. So, aren't you very concerned with that Mohammed Mondani person? Yeah. Because to me, it looks like he will turn New York the way that Pakistani Sadiq Khan turned London into a caliphate. And this Mamdani person, he's a Shia, 12 Imamer, they believe
He's not Shia.
Islamist.
He is Shia.
He is Shia,
He's Shiite.
which is the same. Oh my god.
You're saying he's not the Shiite? Shiite, is that what you're saying? Julian?
Adjective.
Well, I heard multiple things around him. I heard he's like Sufi or like Shiite or whatever. But yeah.
So, Julian, just to clarify, you understand that Shia and Shiite are this thing? A Shiite is a follower of Shia Islam. The two types are not Shia and Shiite. The two types are Shia and Sunniite. I don't know if they use that term. Sunni and Shia. And Norm, of course, you know the difference between the Sunni and the Shia.
Yes.
The Sunni have a very Sunni disposition, while the Shia are totally full of Shia.
And the Shia as well, Sunnis also waiting for them, but it's more for Shia belief system. They're waiting for this guy called Imam Mahdi, which they believe is this Islamic end-time savior. And these Muslims believe in order to bring the Mahdi, they need to spread global chaos. Because when there's global chaos, they believe that the Mahdi will emerge and bring and establish world peace by enforcing Sharia law. Like, this is the Iranian regime that is exporting global chaos because they believe that will usher in the end times. Julian is saying in the comments section he is a Shia Muslim and identifies with the 12th branch. Like, this is very, very concerning. This Mohammed Mamdani type. Because this Shia belief system thinks in order to bring their Mahdi, their Messiah, they need to spread global chaos. That's what the Iranian regime is doing. And they Sunnis also are waiting for the Mahdi. Julian, do you support Mohammed Zohran Mamdani as New York mayor?
Well, I'm actually in New York City, and I didn't vote for him though.
Like, would you say if he becomes mayor that would be an improvement, or do you think New York will become the London, like Muslim mayor London type of city?
Well, I don't support his policies generally. I do think he has some unfortunate policies regarding transportation, housing, and the grocery stores, and I just generally don't support leftists like him because after seeing the destructive policies of Mayor Bloomberg, I support more people like I guess Eric Adams, but I do think that he has some good ideas such as public child care, for example, and cracking down on corporate.
Since when is that a mayor's job? Isn't that a municipality, county, having to vote for that?
I guess, but I think it's good that the potential mayor, does support no cost childcare because childcare is getting pretty expensive, and yeah, I do think that some of his labor policies are pretty decent. I mean, I just generally don't support him, but I do think he has some good policies. So I don't think it may and he was marching for the trans people during the LGBT parade, so I don't think it's gonna turn it.
That was full
on taqiyya. He is spreading in the New York City mosque, spreading the Muslim interest. He's not going into the mosques and preaching things about Islam or that the Muslim community needs to be accepting of vulnerable communities. He's going into mosque preaching the Muslim interest. That's being two-faced, being having a double agenda. Because at one point in the mosque, he's making very sure that he will make Muslims the face of City Hall and make Muslims the face of New York City, basically prioritizing them. Like that is like incompatible with LGBT rights. Like look at like wasn't there this full Muslim city council somewhere in Detroit or Michigan or Minneapolis, and then that Democratic, so a liberal or moderate whatever city county full of Muslims, when they took power, they targeted the LGBT community. They banned LGBT people. That was Sharia law. No, and even like I know a lot of LGBT people support him, which I don't understand, because there's other options in that mayoral election too. But like some of these queers for Palestine, maybe they need to wake up by learning the hard way, by learning the hard lesson, like the people in London did. The people in London only started to open their eyes once a Pakistani radical Muslim became mayor. I'm not sure if you know the situation in London with that Muslim mayor.
Julian, what is your take on this? Is it a conspiracy theory? Is it racist? Do you think it's not going to be that bad? Do you think he's full of shit, or what is your response?
I mean, I don't think it's racist. I think it's since what we're seeing in London, I think it's fair to have reservations about a mayor giving priority to his people of his religion. So I don't think it's racist at all. I just wonder if Mamdani is a guy like that. Like I said, I don't support Mamdani's policies. I think they're generally kind of dumb. But I don't think Mamdani see heavily Muslim. So I just hope, I guess, that he isn't, like, I forgot the London, whatever his name is.
Sadiq Khan.
I just hope that, like, Sadiq Khan's administration in London.
Yeah, what Sadiq Khan did to London is, as a mayor, he did everything, preventing everything from the police force doing their job and making sure the streets are safe. Especially because London is a very dangerous city, a lot of stabbing and a lot of sexual violence against women, LGBT and Jews. And I think when Mohammed Mondami becomes mayor, that will be the reality in New York City too. Because he will be pumping all the hotels full with Muslim migrants. Mondami. He has no interest in putting the interests of New Yorkers first. He made that sure when he spoke in mosques.
I just have to say, I'm in London 5 times a year, and it's a beautiful city. It's dangerous, and I don't notice that there's a Muslim there. I mainly feel like I'm in England. I don't feel like I'm in some kind of a Muslim environment. I don't really have any objection to Muslim people, really. But I don't feel...
What part of London? Because London is truly a beautiful city. Are you more...
amazing city. I like
Are you around the river?
I like Notting Hill, I like City of London, and I like Shoreditch.
Chelsea?
I haven't hung out. I mean, those are where I usually stay. And I I stay in the Cotswolds. I love, forget what it's called. The nickname is Chippy. Anyway, I stay in the Cotswolds. I stay in
Shoreditch is pretty.
Shoreditch is fun.
But like, London is a huge municipality city, and there are parts of London where there is really like a lot of crime, a lot of stabbing,
Like this time in
a lot of drill rap gangs.
East End of London.
So East Ham.
I mean, to be honest, I don't really like too much of the poor neighborhood, the Lloyd Jordan is kind of a mixed neighborhood.
Yeah, because the south of London, that's not a nice place.
Right. But it's a good city. I
And
like
the Muslim mayor, in London, he blocked as a mayor investigation into the Pakistan grooming gangs because he is of the Pakistani origin, and he feels like investigation on his community is racially profiling. And that exact kind of attitude is why Pakistani grooming gang could go unnoticed and continue in other cities where there are Muslim mayors as well, because London is not the only Muslim mayor place.
The Liberals. Like the Labour Party constituents and the whole of the UK. Those are where the big issues have been, but now it's everywhere.
Yeah, but Labour is not even a liberal party. It's basically like social democrats, like a leftist. It's like liberal in Europe usually means market liberty, individual liberty. It's more centrist, and the UK has a liberal party.
Oh yeah, no, I was speaking about that. Like what we call sophisticated elections. That I was just saying.
Yeah. I mean, look at Brussels. They have a socialist mayor in Brussels, and the port, like next to Brussels, you have a municipality, Molenbeek, which is almost 100% Muslim, which is called the Gaza of Europe. And they have a socialist woman mayor who cannot understand that her socialist utopia didn't work. Progressive utopia, like everybody living, green ecology, happiness. No, she's ruling over a place with a lot of violence against women. And is it like Mondani who wants to like stop violence? Like he wants to like stop funding into like investigation on violence in households or something like that. Which sounds also like Sharia law.
Is that true? He wants to stop investigating domestic violence.
Yeah, I read something like that about domestic violence at home. That he doesn't want to
And
like.
he's like, we're focusing too much on that. Yes, we need to let people do what they want to do.
During the BLM riots in aftermath, he said that police and, like, I guess other law enforcement shouldn't be the ones who respond to, like, domestic violence calls, and that police tend to escalate those situations. So, like, I guess social workers
push back against it.
What would be better for Chuchu, Cuomo or Adams?
I think they're both a good bet. I mean, I think Cuomo is held back a little bit now, right? Is pretty fast. He's not well liked. He lost in the primary. Mike people will vote for Adams. I'll vote for Adams.
Also have to applaud that a city like New York even has mayoral elections, because here in my country we don't elect our mayor. Same in the UK, they don't elect their mayor. They just get appointed and put in place. That's why the UK is everywhere, because they're put in that position.
Right?
And in my country, we don't have mayor elections.
Who appointed him?
Literally, in my country, when a politician quits in parliament, they are guaranteed to have a position as a mayor somewhere in the country.
Who appointed him?
I think the king. Not sure.
What country is this?
I live in the Netherlands. But we don't like, even if you have city county elections, everybody votes. Like, for example, Rotterdam had a Muslim mayor. He was actually liked very much because he spoke out against Muslim extremism. He was like first generation Moroccan. And the first generation Muslim migrants in the Netherlands, they came to work, and then the second generation and then the third generation felt like they were not part of the country, and then they had this nostalgia about Muslim countries, and then they started to radicalize, and he spoke sort of out against Muslim radicalization. And he ruled as a mayor for like 2 terms, full terms, while the majority of the people in his city voted for the local right-wing party. So then you would think, oh, if the local right-wing party is the biggest in the municipality elections, then they deliver a mayor, but that's not the system.
Soul Food at least eats greens, okay? This is from every bite being wrapped in a tortilla. I love tortillas, but you can't be wrapping all your food in it.
Respectfully,
It's not-
Miss.
it's not just that.
Wait. Hold on. Respectfully, Miss Shirley, soon to be Mayhem. I listen. I feel very strongly at Soul Food is a movie that actually embodied a certain type of culture. I'm not specifically speaking to the actual food. Does that make sense?
Yes, Adam, but we served soul food on, just so you know, soul food was served at the table I was raised on, and my family wasn't overweight.
Mine too, and my family was definitely not overweight. It's one of those things, moderation. Have you ever heard of the turkey trot?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's like a 5K run. My dad and I used to do that before Thanksgiving dinner. You see what I'm saying? So it's kind of one of those things where it's like, people don't have a healthy attitude towards fitness in a way that is acceptable in light of the expenditures that America is spending on fatness.